think it is an important moment to see where we are going, and what do we want to achieve in the next few years. In the last 4-year period from 19 to 23, our motto was to make football truly global, to bring football in every corner of the world, and we have gone quite a way on that. The motto, the slogan, the vision for the next 4 years is really to unite the world. Football unites the world. We prepared a little brochure for you. It's also, of course, available online to explain a bit more in detail what we want to do in the next 4-year periods. But in the last years, we did already quite a bit. We progressed in our plans, and as everyone, we were hit by a pandemic, by the COVID. So FIFA, being a very solid organization, we have been able to help all of you with the COVID relief plan, putting at disposal an amount of $1.5 billion to help keeping football alive all over the world. We have then also been able to receive back from the United States Department of Justice over $200 million, together with CONMEBOL and CONCACAF, $200 million who were seized from corrupt officials of football, to be re-injected back in community projects, in football projects around the world. And that's what we are doing. We have started to implement the talent development scheme with Arsene Wenger. You will hear about that later on, to give every talent everywhere in the world a chance to shine at the global stage. We have been developing and pushing and making VAR better. We'll hear from our referees if it has been successful or not. We have been bringing to life FIFA Plus, democratizing football, bringing football from many of your countries to the global stage on a FIFA platform for the fans everywhere. We have created the FIFA Clearinghouse, a central bank of FIFA, to make sure that transfer payments, and in particular at the beginning, the relative part for the training compensation, is going effectively back to those clubs having invested in training of players wherever they may be around the world. We have been organizing the best FIFA World Cup ever in Qatar in 2022. A year ago and 3 days ago was an incredible final between Argentina and France. Felicidades Argentina once again for winning that trophy. What a final, what a tournament, bringing the world together, uniting everyone in harmony, in peace, without any single incident, and with great spectacle on the pitch. I was then re-elected in Kigali in March of this year, the first time we organized an electoral congress of FIFA on African soil. Thank you very much for your trust, obviously. And we did much more, and we did much more thanks to you, thanks to what you are contributing, thanks to your commitment and your work. But now, of course, we have to focus on the future. And having to focus on the future, we have to see what our strategic objectives are for the next 4-year period. I mentioned them already at the Congress in Kigali. I will repeat some of them, and you will be able to read them and to see them in our documentation. And of course, as far as this particular summit is concerned, whenever I speak or anyone else is on stage to speak, and there will be many guests coming up, feel free to intervene if you have any question or any remark that you would wish to make. In FIFA, in the new FIFA, there is definitely no taboo topic. There is no topic we cannot discuss about. We might not have the answers to all the questions, but we try always to do our best. So what are our objectives for the next 4 years? Well, the first one is, as you know, to revise our statutes, our regulations. This is a constant process, but at this moment we are in process of reviewing our statutes, which will be presented at our next Congress in Bangkok. This is a process we do with a dedicated working group, including all confederations. But if any one of you, and we have more than 165 associations physically present here and all the others online, any one of you has any suggestion for our statutes, please feel free to come forward and to make your suggestions to all of us. The second objective is to focus, of course, always on governance. We have been bringing our house in order in the first few years. We have made FIFA a reliable partner of many organizations, non-governmental organizations, commercial organizations, and others. Governance is always, and that goes without saying, a top priority for us. And we focus now, I mentioned it earlier, on the transfer system, because we have over $8 billion every year which are circulating from one country to the other. Over 800, almost 900 million go to agents of this amount. This number is increasing year by year significantly. And less than 100 million go to the training of players, and this is not possible, it's not acceptable. We create this clearinghouse to make sure that the training compensation of 5% or maybe even a little bit more goes to the training clubs. $300 to $400 million every year should go to the clubs training players, at least, and we have to work for that. We are also investing, and that's the third objective, on technology. Always VAR is getting better and better, semi-automated offside, automated offside, and so on and so forth. But also FIFA Plus, engagement with fans, social media, and so on and so forth are all topics which are very, very high, obviously, on our agenda. We need to make sure that we capture our youth and that they fall in love with football as we did a few years ago. And part of it is not just digital and social media related, but also related with playing football. And that's why, that's our fourth objective, we have decided to increase the number of tournaments we play at youth level. So the under-17 for girls and for boys will be played as of 2025, as of next year or year after next, every year, and not every 2 years, every year, and we will increase the number of participants for the under-17 to be played every year to give really more chances and more opportunities to play. The under-20 will remain every 2 years, but for the girls, also there, we increase the number of participants because we want to give more chances and more opportunities to play. And the latest idea we have and we are discussing currently is to bring to life an under-15 tournament. This should be more of a festival than a World Cup, where all 211 countries of FIFA would be invited to a central location to play with their under-15s, girls and boys, in a festival that really unites all of us. For the moment, this is a dream or a hope, but if you don't have hopes, if you don't have dreams, you will never achieve anything. So I count on you to help us making this dream a reality for our children all over the world, for all our 211 countries to be part of a football tournament, not just to be part of meetings and congresses. We are, and this is the fifth objective, also investing a lot in education, in development. The talent development scheme is a crucial part of that. FIFA academies all over the world are linked with that. We need quality and we need quantity. We need to work on the grassroots and we need to work on the elite all over the world. And that's what we're doing for players, that's what we're doing for referees, and that's what we're doing for doctors, medicals, that's what we're doing as well for administrators with diplomas and so on that we are putting in place for clubs, for member associations and so on and so forth, because we need to invest in education and in development. And doing that, we always have to remember as well our social responsibility role, and that's our sixth objective, to make sure that we keep high on the fight against discrimination, that we keep high on investing in education with football for schools, that we support the FIFA Foundation in its work, that we engage ourselves for climate questions, that we play our role of citizens having definitely an influence in the world in a very committed and serious way. We have then, and that's objective number 7, to create more opportunities, more chances, more matches, more games. Some are saying there is too much football. Well, maybe there is too much football in some parts of the world, but definitely there is not enough football in many parts of the world. And that's what we have to address, and that's for grassroots as well as for elite football. In order to achieve this, some important steps have been taken. The increase of the number of teams playing in the next World Cup, 48 teams from 32, 16 more countries being able to benefit not just from the qualification, but from what the qualification means, and just from the dream to qualify for a World Cup, which suddenly becomes much, much more real for many, many countries around the world. We did something similar with the women. Last Women's World Cup, we increased from 24 to 32. Many were criticizing that, saying, well, there is not enough quality and this and that and the other. And guess what? Well, we had an incredible World Cup with 8 newcomers, with teams from all 6 continents winning at least one game, with, I don't know, South Africa eliminating Italy, and Argentina with Jamaica eliminating Brazil, with Morocco eliminating Germany. I mean, in the women's game, these are results which show how football is growing, and we need to support that. Not just with the senior teams, but also by creating new opportunities. We'll develop the FIFA series, a series of friendly games between teams from different confederations played in the March window every even year, starting from March 2024 and then 26 and then 28, offering you the opportunities to play against opponents from other continents, because that's what we are about. We have to bring people from all over the world together, not just in World Cups, but also in other opportunities for those who are ranked maybe in a position that doesn't allow them to participate to the World Cup. And we have to invest as well in regional tournaments. We organized 1 year before the World Cup in Qatar, the FIFA Arab Cup was an incredible success, and we want to organize that again maybe in 2 years from now, and then every 4 years, and we want to see what we can do in other parts of the world, in Africa, in Asia, in America, to see how we can foster these rivalries between neighbors, bringing FIFA there in to help the confederations, the regional associations, to make sure that everything is done in the best possible way. Objective number 8, so we come slowly but surely to the end is obviously women's football. We didn't speak yet too much about women's football, but one of my objectives when I made my speech in Kigali in March was to organize the best ever Women's World Cup. Well, that's an objective which we have already achieved because we did it in Australia and New Zealand. Many thanks to New Zealand, Joanna is here, and Australia as well for hosting all of us, to the entire Oceania as well. I had the occasion to visit all the countries of Oceania during that World Cup and witness a passion for football and in particular for women's football. We had 2 million spectators almost in Australia and New Zealand in winter in 2 countries which are rugby countries. 2 million people came to the matches, filling the stadiums. We had 2 billion viewers watching the Women's World Cup on TV. We had record prize money, and of course we are looking forward to 2027 to make it even better and even bigger. The 9th objective is to make sure that in 2026 we organize the greatest show on earth. The 2026 World Cup will definitely be unique, first with 48 teams, first in 3 countries, United States, Mexico, and Canada. 104 matches. We say to our American friends, this will be more than 104 Super Bowls condensated in a little bit more than 1 month. The whole world will come together. Millions of people in the stadiums, billions, of course, on TV, 16 great host cities, 3 countries. I think we can look forward to a fantastic World Cup in 2026, which is, of course, our main tournament. When it comes to the national teams, when it comes to clubs, this is our 10th objective. We have brought to life a new club competition, a Mundial de Clubes, a World Championship, a World Cup for clubs with 32 teams, the 32 best clubs in the world, again, coming from all over the world, because we have to foster national team football, but we have to foster as well club football. If we want club football to grow all over the world, we need to give clubs the opportunities to play as well with each other. And the slot of that competition is not a new slot. It's a slot that was occupied before by the FIFA Confederations Cup. So it's an existing slot that we just put to a much, much, much better use by creating a new club competitions, and many clubs are very excited. There is only one organization who can give and deliver the official title of world champion, that is FIFA, and we will know who will be the world champion of the clubs as well. In addition to that, we'll have a yearly match between the European champion and the champion of the rest of the world, which we call the Coupe Intercontinentale, the Intercontinental Cup of FIFA. And we will continue at club level as well to work on, with our confederations and associations, on regional events, on events between countries, to make sure that we can grow the game all over the world more and more. The last objective, and obviously that's an important one because it allows us to put in place the 10 previous objectives and those who will be coming after 2027, is to make sure we generate enough revenues. So, as you know, the budget that you have approved at the last Congress for the 4-year cycle to come is a budget of revenues of $11 billion. $11 billion is an incredible record for FIFA. In the cycle before I became FIFA president, the revenues were a bit more than $5 billion. Now we are at $11 billion, and the new Club World Championship, the new Mundial de Clubes, is not even included in these revenues, and you can be sure that a few billion will be added on that front, including, of course, a few millions for solidarity to develop football all over the world. So a lot on the plate, a lot to do. These are our strategic objectives for the next 4 years. We will speak about them, we will discuss them, we will amend them, we will make them live all together, and in the meantime we will unite the world in the same way we did it by making sure that when it comes to the process for the hosting of the next World Cups, in only 8 years, we bring the World Cup almost everywhere in the world, having it in North America in 2026, celebrating the 100 years of World Cup in South America in 2030, playing then in Africa and Europe with Morocco and Spain and Portugal in 2030, and then coming back to Asia in 2034 in Saudi Arabia. So in only 8 years, we make the tour of the world with our major competition, the FIFA World Cup. Much more to come. This is just a little glimpse. It will not get bored. Don't worry. And again, any suggestion by you, any proposal, anything we can do differently or better, please feel free to come forward and make it. Thank you very much for your attention, and now I leave the floor to our guests. Thank you.